A Clockwork Orange. Stanley Kubrick's A Clockwork Orange. This dystopian classic follows Alex and his gang of droogs as they wreak havoc through a spree of violence and psychological torment. Despite its critical acclaim, the film faced intense backlash for its graphic depictions of assault and the fear that it inspired copycat crimes. In fact, in the UK, the controversy grew so severe that Kubrick himself requested the film be withdrawn from theatres. It wasn't available again in Britain until after his death in 1999. To this day, A Clockwork Orange raises questions about free will, morality, and the consequences of censorship. Cannibal Holocaust. Considered one of the most infamous films ever made, Cannibal Holocaust was banned in over 50 countries. Directed by Ruggero Deodato, it's a found-footage horror film that follows a documentary crew encountering a cannibalistic tribe in the Amazon. The reason for its banning? Its extreme violence, real animal killings, and disturbingly realistic special effects. In fact, the film's director was arrested on charges of murder because people believed he had actually killed the actors. He had to bring them to court to prove they were alive. Love it or hate it, Cannibal Holocaust remains a controversial icon of exploitation cinema. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You might not expect a horror classic like The Texas Chainsaw Massacre to be banned, but when it was first released, it terrified censors worldwide. The film's gritty, almost documentary-like depiction of violence was considered too much for audiences, leading to bans in several countries, including the UK, Ireland, and parts of Scandinavia. But the real brilliance of the movie? Most of the violence is implied rather than shown, proving that sometimes what you don't see is scarier. Over the years, the bans have lifted, and Leatherface is now a horror icon. Not all banned films are about gore, some are banned for their ideas. The Last Temptation of Christ. Martin Scorsese's The Last Temptation of Christ was banned in countries like Greece, Turkey, and the Philippines for its controversial depiction of Jesus. The film portrays Jesus as a deeply human figure who experiences doubt, fear, and even romantic love. Religious groups called it blasphemous, with protests erupting around the world. In some countries, screenings were attacked, and even today, the film remains banned in some areas. It's a fascinating example of how art can clash with faith and tradition. The Interview. Sometimes a movie gets banned not for its content, but for its political implications. The Interview, a comedy about an assassination plot against North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, sparked international controversy before it was even released. North Korea condemned the film as an act of war, leading to hacking attacks against Sony Pictures. The film was pulled from theaters in the US and other countries, though it was later released online. It's a wild example of how movies can create chaos on a global scale. Subscribe for part 2.